We're gonna give a couple of minutes, and while we wait, say hello. Welcome, Sacramento, Colorado, Sacramento. Welcome.
Hey, Jaime. So I'm on my phone and I can't figure out how to do it. Go ahead and go into the settings and turn off the waiting room.
I'll take care of that right now.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Welcome. We're gonna get started here in just a couple of minutes. Let's see, what other settings do we need to set here? I think we're good right there. All right. Welcome, welcome. We're going to give just one more minute and then we're going to get started with our AM power this morning. Grateful to be here today. I was just sharing with Brooke that I'm just getting over some flu-like symptoms. I was over in Scottsdale, Arizona this last week watching some spring training, and it was 109 outside and it was like 30 degrees in the lobby of the hotel. So it was a little bit, it threw me off a little bit. Welcome, Dallas. Welcome, welcome. Welcome from Texas, Eva Garcia. Welcome. Gracia. Welcome, Howard. From Guam. One of my best friends is from Guam. Welcome, welcome. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here in just one more minute. We're just going to send one last quick message. And this time I have a timer because last time I was with you in AM Power, I went a little over. So I want to make sure that I respect your time and I respect AM Power and this amazing platform that helps us every single day. Alberta, welcome. Welcome, welcome from California. Dina, welcome. Awesome. Glad to be here. Excited to be on. Today we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn today. Today is gonna be awesome. Yesterday's AM Power was just incredible. The testimony, everything yesterday was just awesome about that AM Power. We were talking about it for a couple of hours after the AM Power. Welcome from Southern California. Welcome. Good morning from Atlanta, Xavier. That's my baby son's name. He's 19 years old. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, yesterday's AM Power is one to definitely watch over and over and over and over, like Marshawn Lynch says. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna go ahead and respect time. I'm gonna click my timer here and let's get the party started. All right, here we go. All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Jaime Morales, and I'm honored to be here. Anytime that I get an opportunity to share, I don't take that lightly. It's a huge responsibility to be here sharing a little bit of my story and a little bit of our background and some things that may help you along the way. I know that we have such a blessed opportunity here with so many leaders that are able to share. Yesterday, we learned about TNT, testimonies and transformation. Today, we're also going to talk about TNT, but today, TNT stands for today, not tomorrow. So that's when we have to take action is today and not tomorrow. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And I wanted to give just a couple of more minutes only because I am going to play a video and the video is very important. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you and let's do this. Let's see here. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start the slideshow here. All right, if you guys can just let me know in the chat if you guys can see my screen, if you guys can still hear me, if you guys can still see me. I'm gonna get my mug out of the way, but I just want to make sure that everyone is a-okay and everyone can see me. Yeah, I think we're good. We're good. All right, awesome. All right, let's go ahead and get started, guys. So today I wanted to share with you. I've watched this training and this video for years. I don't even remember. I think it was an online marketer by the name of Frank Kern, the one that first shared this video with us. And I keep watching it every single year. I keep watching this incredible training. And today I said, you know what? I need to share this with our community. I need to share this with our Vital Health family because it's so impactful for me based on what we do for a living. And today, the name of this training is called the Persistence Hunt Mindset. And on our next slide, we're going to watch this short video for you to know exactly what the training is all about. But this is what I need to tell you before we watch the video. This is a mindset that's going to change the way that we view our business and the activities, the daily method of operations that we embark on every single day. Now, this video is about the sand people of the Kalahari Desert and the way that they hunt. And I think that we're going to learn so much from this video and this training, and we're going to do it all in 26 minutes. So, in this video, we're going to learn about endurance. We're going to learn about focus. We're going to learn about heart. We're going to learn about the power of having a strong reason why we do what we do. And that's exactly what it's going to take for us to be able to build a business here with Vital Health. It's going to take about the same elements. You know, we go back to books like Think and Grow Rich and those 13 things that all successful people have in common. We can see it all throughout life at different levels of life and different activities of life. We can see that these things all continue to show up in our lives because that is the golden thread that runs through everyone and anyone who ever finds their way to reaching their goals. So we're gonna go ahead and watch this video, and please, feel free to rewatch this video after the training because I think there's even a longer version of this video where they show the end of it. But let's go ahead and take a look at this video, and I'm gonna come right back and we're gonna discuss what we're learning. But here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how leaders can build a massive organization and how it's not necessarily your speed, it's more about your persistence. It's more about your perseverance. And we're going to learn how this incredible group of people, the Sand People, how they go out there and they chase their dreams and their goals every single day. So let's go ahead and watch this video and I'll be right back so that we can discuss it. Here we go.
They hunt in silence. The hand sign indicates that one of them has found the track of a group of kudu. These are the San people of the Kalahari Desert, the last tribe on Earth to use what some believe is the most ancient hunting technique of all, the persistence hunt. They run down.
I don't know if you can turn it up on volume wise in the video.
They start to feel the rhythm of the animal's movements from the spacing of the tracks. The group is not moving fast. The animals have taken fright. They will concentrate on the bull. He will be carrying a heavy set of horns.
Jaime, I don't know if you can turn the volume up, but we can't hear it.
Separate him from the herd so that his tracks won't be.
Okay, I just heard that we couldn't see it, right? So let me give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah, it's a
stop the share.
sound. It's a sound thing. So if
Okay,
you can turn up the sound on your side.
here we go. Hold on a second. Let's see if this works best.
Okay, Jaime, you know what you can do? So if you go down into share on your Zoom screen, and then up at the top, you'll see these little tabs. You'll see advanced. You'll hit advanced. No?
No.
David's on there.
Okay.
Hold
Let's
on.
take a look.
Share.
I have share sound and optimize for video
Yes,
sharing.
share sound. Exactly, under advanced. Yep. And that will share the sound on your computer.
Okay, let me know if this is any better. Okay, hold on a second.
Okay.
Confused. those of others.
Can you hear it now?
The sun is directly overhead, and the men sense a change in the
No. Hmm.
No.
No. And you did hit the advanced section, share computer sound.
Yeah, here's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and share my on YouTube. I think it'll be better on YouTube. One second. Sorry about that, guys. See here. Okay.
Make a move with Hostinger Self.
Gotta
Bring
wait for
your
this
idea
to
to
add.
life with Hostinger Horizons AI.
Their prey.
Yeah, and make sure the volume on that video is up.
The hands
So on the
that
very
guide
bottom of that video, there should be
has
a
found
little
the track
volume
of
thing.
a
Make
group
sure
of
that's all the way up.
Is
these
that working
are
better?
shaman people
And then
of the
just
Kalahari
make
Desert,
sure that you're
the
sharing the
last tribe on
sound
Earth
on your computer under the advanced settings. So when you go to share and you hit advanced, you'll hit share computer sound. David's saying no, that's not right. What are you saying?
Yeah, I'm just gonna share the presentation without the video, and what I'll do is that I'll grab the link and I'll put it in the chat so you guys can watch it after. Okay, so here's the link to the
Okay.
video. That's the link to the video right there. And just watch it after the training. It'll make a lot more sense when you watch it. But let me go ahead and share my presentation with you so that we can just take full advantage of our time together. So let me go ahead and share now. Hold on a second. Slideshow from the beginning. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and share it without the video, and then the video is in the chat for you guys to be able to watch afterwards. But one of the most impressive things about this group of people, the Sand people, is that they hunt without really using many weapons, and the way that they hunt is called persistence hunting. And in the video, you would see, and you're gonna see after when you watch it, that literally they chase the animal down until either the animal or the person collapses. And that process can take upwards of 8 hours per hunt. And in the video, you're gonna see how this incredible group of people they find success by number one, um, focusing on what it is that they want. You know, they see the prey, they see that they what they want to do, and one of the first things that they do is that they separate the prey from everyone else. So hunters begin in silence. They begin by observing with intention, with preparation. They understand that they can probably do more than the prey because the prey has to run on four legs and they're not able to perspire. So the hunter, because he's able to drink water and he's able to perspire, he's able to endure the entire 8 days. And in our business, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes preparation, one minute of preparation can save us countless hours of just trial and error and failure. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on today. Leaders prepare first. You know, and yesterday that I was watching Mr. David Nieves in his training in the evening time, he gave us an entire roadmap on how to get to our goals. And that takes preparation. You know, in our industry, we say that sometimes we have to slow down in order for us to speed up. And going through our launch document, sitting down with someone and not just sending them to a training with Mr. David Nieves, but actually being there with our brand new affiliate and going through this document with them, and not just giving them assignments like, hey, now you go ahead and create your list. But if you can sit down with your brand new affiliate and help them to be prepared, you're helping them more than you can even think. You may say, well, I can be talking to more people. But the point of our industry is not to go out there and recruit 1 million people. The point of our industry is to go out there and find the right people and then plug them into the system, but give everyone the same opportunity by getting them started with the same energy, with the same intention, with the same time that it takes for people to actually get started. So for example, when you send somebody our document and they see the scripts, that may be a little overwhelming for someone who's never done this before. But what would happen if we take a little bit of time, if we slow down a little bit and practice those scripts with our brand new affiliate, and you role play with your brand new affiliate? What would happen if instead of having our brand new affiliate put together some type of list, what if we help them to not only create a list, but how to grade that list and how to invite that list? What would happen if instead of just saying, hey, these are some of the books that have helped me, what would happen if on the day that they sign up, you hand them, even if it's an ebook, even if it's an audiobook, and you say, hey, I want to gift you your very first book, your first of many books. Right now I'm reading Jim Rohn, The Art of Exceptional Living, and he says you shouldn't have a TV bigger than your library. And that's something that hits home, because in our culture, in the Latino culture, it seems like we have more TVs in the house than books. And that is something that ends with us, with this generation. In my home, we do have TVs, but I can promise you this: we have more books than TVs, and our book section is bigger than our TV section. The reason why is because it's not just for me. I understand the assignment. My wife understands the assignment, but is that people and our children watch by, or they learn by watching us do it. If they see like I'm buying a book, but instead of reading a book, they always see me on Sports Center, or they always see me just watching a basketball game, and they never see me reading, they're never gonna pick up a book. They may buy books because they saw you buying books, but they have to physically see you reading. One of the things that I enjoy doing with my team is literally inundating them with personal development. I know that personal development was the key to keeping me in the business, because I wasn't very good. As a matter of fact, it took me 6 months in this industry to earn my first dollar, and it took me 9 months to sponsor my first affiliate. If it wasn't that my sponsor and my coaches, they gave me some books. They said, hey, I know that you don't know which books to get. So I went to the Goodwill and I got you How to Win Friends and Influence People. And the price was still there, $1.75. Imagine somebody invested $1.75 and in return helped me to develop myself. And in return, the overrides for them, I can promise you, were a lot more than $1.75. So we have to start by preparing. We have to start by making sure that we have a clear intention of what it is that we're doing. And when you're watching this video, I respect these people so much, because sometimes I think that what we do is hard, but seeing what they have to do every single day, go out there in the heat of the desert. I can only imagine just being in Scottsdale, Arizona this last week at 109. I felt like I was in the middle of a desert. I almost started hunting people simply because it was just that hot. I can only imagine having to do that every single day. And if you don't go out there and do it, then your family, your village, your tribe, they simply don't eat. And that is what the sand people have to do every single day. Today they did it. They were successful. Guess what they get to do tomorrow? They get to do it all over again. And they do it with the same spirit of enthusiasm, because they know that a victory for them means that their village, their children, their wife, and their friends, they get to eat based on the production that you brought home from the field. Same thing with us. Every single day that we get up, we should have that enthusiasm, knowing that what you do today is setting up our families, our children, for a better future, to be able to leave a better roadmap for our grandchildren even. My entire goal in life is to make sure that my children don't have to start where I started. And now that that's accomplished, now I'm looking forward to making sure that my grandchildren even get started ahead of where my children got started. Now, hunters don't chase everything. You know, you don't see the sand people when you watch this video. You don't see the sand people chasing every animal. They know exactly which animal they're chasing. The question I have for you is, do you know what your ideal customer looks like? Do you know what you're looking for in your ideal affiliate? Or are you just chasing everyone? You know, one of the things about network marketing, and we always hear negative, is that we just chase everyone and we just look at everyone with commission eyes. And when you look at the sand people and the way that they hunt, they don't chase everyone. So in our business, we have to stop chasing people who don't want more. And you're going to run into more people who don't want more than you're going to run into the people that actually want to do something about it. You know, so be okay. You know, back in the days, there was a network marketing trainer, and she would always say, hey, be okay with saying no first. If the person is not your ideal customer, if the person is not your ideal affiliate, be okay with saying, hey, listen, this partnership may not work, so I'm going to say no first. That gives you an entirely different perspective and a different posture when you're okay with letting someone go, because you know that if you bring them into your culture, they're going to be toxic to your culture. It's okay to say no to people that aren't right for our business. You know, so there are people who are already moving forward and looking for change. There are people right now, like we heard in the testimony yesterday, who are literally crying out for help, that desperately need something to happen in their lives for a blessing to show up. And that blessing may have your face all over it. It may have your message attached to it. It may have a voice message that you sent or a phone call. You may turn out to be a blessing that someone else has been praying for years and years and years. So your next leader is already searching for you. There's no need for you to go out there and try to convince a joker that he's an ace. There are only 4 aces in a deck. Trying to waste time or wasting time, you know, grabbing a Sharpie and grabbing a 2 or a 3 or even a king or a queen and convincing them and forcing them to be an ace is truly a waste of time. There are people right now who are desperately searching out for something that you have. They are looking for ways to get better in their health, better in their relationships, better in their finances. But instead, we're wasting so much time trying to convince people that have proven over and over and over again that they're not the right people. It's okay to let them go. It's okay to look and go find and go connect and attract the people who are already not only just looking for an opportunity like Vital Health, they're looking for your type of leadership. And that's what I love about what we do here at Vital Health. See, I vibe at a different frequency than you vibe. So everyone has a tribe out there that's waiting for them. If you've never read the book by Seth Godin by the name of Tribes, I suggest we all read that book, Tribes, because everyone has a tribe. See, people that I attract are probably not the same people that Mr. David Nieves attracts. It's probably not the same people that even Ana Contera attracts. We all have a tribe that is waiting for us to step up to our leadership role, to our purpose, and start leading from that point. And tell me if this isn't true. Sometimes you go out there and you're doing the deal. You're sending out your messages. You're connecting with people, and people that you already know more than likely have already been exposed to Vital Health are open to conversations with you when they never even gave Vital Health a chance with anyone else. The reason why is because people don't necessarily follow companies or products. People follow people, and everyone can attract their own tribe. And that's the beautiful thing about what we do. Now, hunters isolate the prospect or isolate the bull in the case of the video, so that the tracks don't get confused. That means that we have to focus on one message, one system, one daily method of operation. You know, I come from a 20 something years of network marketing experience. And one of the first things that I realized when I came to Vital Health is that I needed to put my system in the drawer, and I needed to align myself with leadership. And even though I know my system has worked for me and we fed our family and we raised our children based on our system, but you know what? I want to be in alignment with the message so that we don't confuse the masses. One of the challenges for Vital Health is that the Spanish and the English community are completely different. It's almost like it's two companies, but the day will come when both cultures will meet in the middle, and it will create one culture, one team, one system, one daily method operation. Confusion kills people. A confused mind does absolutely nothing. That's the reason why these hunters isolate the prospect with one message, one system, and one type of prospect, the correct one. Now, the next thing is they enter into a flow. And you're going to see in the video how this man, Karobi, he just starts running. And at one point, the bull disappears. He can no longer see the bull. He doesn't know which way he ran. And he starts to use his imagination. And he starts to really live out, his flow. He's in this state of flow to where he knows I'm just in this frequency, and people that are vibrating at my same frequency, they're going to be attracted to me, and I just have to stay the course. See, the hunter in the video doesn't go back to the village and say, well, I lost track of them, guys. Today we're not eating. No, he starts to imagine, and he puts himself in the position of the bull. Sometimes we have to put ourselves in the position of our prospects. And we have to imagine what it is that they're going through so that you can stay in flow and the message can connect with the right person. Daily prospecting creates a flow. Daily follow-ups create a flow. Posting and being active on social media create a flow. And, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. One of the hardest things to beat in our industry is inertia. If you've ever had, a little beater car like I used to have, and I had a stick shift, sometimes it would turn on and sometimes it wouldn't turn on. And when it wouldn't turn on, we would have to jump start it or clutch start it, right? And I needed the help of others to help me to push the vehicle. But once the wheels began to go in motion and once the wheels began to turn, the car got easier to push. Same thing in our business. When you get into a rhythm of daily prospecting, daily following up, posting every day, not to expose vital health, but to expose yourself, your brand, your leadership, your tips. What have you learned? If you don't know what to post, I'll give you 20 ideas right now. Make 10 short videos of the 10 things you love most about network marketing and working for yourself. And then make 10 more videos of the 10 things that you find challenging about working from home and throw them all on YouTube. That's 20 short videos that'll get you in a flow. The point of posting on social media is not to be perfect. The point of posting on social media is to filter those who are not your tribe. Maybe they're going to be in vital health, but they're not going to be on your team. But the point of posting and letting yourself be out there is for you to attract your tribe. So the daily activity is not just because, you got to go out there and produce. Yes, we all have to produce, but it's to get in a state of flow. And when you're in a state of flow, you see things clearly. We see it in sports all the time when someone's on fire. I just saw Luka Doncic. He just dropped 60 on the Miami Heat the other day, and he was just in a flow. No one was going to be able to stop him that game. And sometimes we got to stop overthinking and doubting and stay consistent. This hunter in the video that you're going to watch after this training, this hunter didn't get frustrated. He didn't go and to his leader and said, hey, you didn't teach me how to hunt. This has to be your fault. Or, hey, this spear that you gave me doesn't work. He stayed consistent and he never gave up. Most of us or most people will never reach flow because they quit too early. Literally, Think and Grow Rich says 3 feet from gold. And do you know that story of Think and Grow Rich of 3 feet from gold? The reality of it is the only reason why that first person quit 3 feet from gold is because he didn't reach out for expert advice. Because the following people, the very first thing that they did was they hired an expert in gold mining. And literally within a few hours, the expert said, hey, about 3 feet to the right, start digging there. And they found the largest gold mine in the history of the state. And what happens is that when you quit too early, you never enter the state of flow. And at first, the motions get a little, it's like working out. When you first go work out, you don't even know how you look sitting on that machine. You don't even know how you look lifting those dumbbells. One arm is higher than the other. You're all out of whack. You're out of flow. But the more consistent that you stay doing the exercise, then you begin to gain your form. You realize, hey, I don't have to ego lift. I don't have to go out there and prospect 100 people today. I just have to stay consistent and do my 2 today. Can I do my 2 today? And then can I do and make a commitment to do my 2 tomorrow? And when you start getting into a flow, your posture will change. your results would change and your attitude about the activities will change because you know that you're just compounding one win on top of another win. And that's what gets us over the hump. Now, the hunter steps forward to run the final chase in the video, and you're going to see it. This is the time to launch. This is the moment for every brand new affiliate. And I can almost assure you that 80 to 90% of all of our affiliates inside of Vital Health have never had a grand opening. We know about it, we train on it, we talk about it, but the reality is most people in Vital Health have never really launched their business. Most of us hold on to the idea of like, man, that's the way you guys did it back in the 2000s, or back in the day when people will gather at home, and whether it's at home or whether it's virtual. The point of a grand opening is for you to let people know what it is that you're going to be focused on for the next 5 years. So you have to host your first presentation at some point. If you haven't done so, how about if we make a commitment? Imagine we're 160 people in the room. What if we made a commitment that whether you've done one or not, that we're not going to let March end without launching our business or relaunching our business? Imagine the amount of activity that will come out of 160 grand openings over the next couple of weeks. And what does it take? A decision. It takes a decision. And that decision literally starts with you. Your team is never going to do what you tell them to do. And they're only going to do about 50% of what they see you doing. So if you don't launch and if you don't tell your team, hey guys, I'm relaunching my business this week. I wish I could invite you, but this relaunch is not for my existing team because that would be a general Zoom. I'm relaunching my business and I'm inviting people that I haven't yet invited to come to this relaunch and learn more about Vital Health. What if all of us made that commitment? Where would your business be? What if you had 10 people on your team today that would all launch over the next 7 days? Can you imagine what your volume would look like, what your rank would look like, what your posture, your confidence would look like? It would look completely different. But it all starts with us. In the book, Making the First Circle Work, Randy Gage talks about that first circle, us. We are the ones who have to make our first circle, us. We have to make ourselves work. And only by example can you influence others the right way. If your team doesn't see that you're posting on social media, creating curiosity, adding value. And the rule of thumb on social media is 80-20. 80% value, 20% asking for a commitment to, or asking them to engage in something that you want to present to them. Or what if we made a decision, 160 of us, that over the next 90 days, we're going to lock in. And over the next 90 days, we're not going to miss exposing 2 people every single day. That means that each and every single one of us would have 180 brand new contacts over the next 90 days. Now multiply 180 times 160. Can you imagine what the AM Power Zooms or the Discover Vital Zooms would look like after 90 days if we just made a commitment of finding 2 new friends every single day to share the message with? When you run, you have to run to outlast everyone and everything. When I first went into construction, I was 17 and a half years old. And I would see grown men with children, with spouses, and they had obviously more responsibilities than me. But I made a decision on that day, and I was working a graveyard shift at Northrop Grumman. I made a decision that day that I was going to outwork and outlast all of them. So as they were taking 10 extra minutes for lunch, I was back at work pulling cable because that was my job, pulling cable and terminating cable for computers or telephone systems. And through it all, I would see it almost like an elimination. Every Friday, someone was getting cut like Survivor. And I outlasted everyone. And the reason why is because I made a decision that they weren't going to outwork me and that I was going to show up earlier and I was going to leave a little later. Not because I wanted to show anyone that I was better, but simply because I wanted to prove that even at 17 and a half years old, I was serious about that job. And sometimes in our business, when we become business owners, we're not as tough as our bosses used to be. And at the beginning, you have to be the toughest boss you've ever had. You have to be the toughest boss you've ever had, because if you don't get off your behind to work, no one's going to come here and say, hey, I'm going to send you to HR so you can get written up. No one's going to do that. David Nieves is not going to call you and say, hey, listen, I have to write you up because I've noticed that you haven't been on Zooms for the last 3 weeks. No one. They're gonna just let you walk away because this is a volunteer army. So what if we just made a decision that we're just gonna run to outlast everyone and everything? Eventually, prospects, even prospects that are kind of skeptical, after you've been here for 6 months, 8 months, a year, they're gonna see, man, you're serious about this one because you would have quit by now. But now I see that you're still here. You're still with the same enthusiasm. You're still growing. You're still learning. You're still pushing yourself. That means that you must see something in this project because you're still here. So people that say no to you at the beginning, they just want to test you out. Is this a phase that you're going through? Are you just overexcited because somebody brainwashed you into believing that you can actually do this? Or are you actually going to pay the price to live the promise? So today is decision day. What are we going to do the next 7 days? What are we going to do the next 30 days? What are we going to do the next 90 days? Are you ready to lock in for yourself, for your family, for your children, and for those you don't even know yet that you're going to impact because of a decision that you're going to make today? Now, the hunt really becomes who collapses first. Is it going to be the animal or is it going to be the hunter? You know, in network marketing is the same thing. It's not who's best. It's who stays the longest and who stays committed. Your competition is not another leader. Your competition is your old habits. Your yesterday is your competition. Are you at least a little bit better than you were yesterday? Are you more consistent with the work, more consistent today than you were yesterday? Are you going to take vital health a little bit more serious today than you did yesterday? You know, humans, they win persistence hunts. They sweat. We gotta sweat in network marketing. I mean, it's not like we're digging ditches, but hey, I'm sweating right now because I'm pushing myself against the grinding wheel. Why? Because this is completely out of my comfort zone. This is so out of my comfort zone that I rather not ever do it. But here's why I do it, because I am the lid to my team. And if my team doesn't see it, my team knows that I'm an introvert to the heart and I live up to that name. I am an introvert. And, you know, for a lot of years, I was like, man, you know, I wish I would find extroverts on my team and go out there and recruit my weaknesses. But even when you recruit extroverts into your team, if you're an introvert, they must see you doing the work. They have to see that you're willing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, that you're willing to step out of your comfort zone, because there's no more money in the comfort zone. Everything that you can earn in your comfort zone, you're already earning right now. There's no more money in that comfort zone. So today we have to sweat. We have to carry water. You know, that's the work that the hunters do, but that's the same work that we do. We have to, in our business, we have systems, we have mentorship, we have community, we have leverage. Most people fail because they try to do this on their own. And I was an island all by myself for a lot of years in this industry. I wouldn't want to bother my support team. I wouldn't even want to bother my organization. I was just out there and I would say, hey, I'm going to go out there and go 1,000 wide until I find 5 people that want to run. And quite honestly, it was very tiresome. It was very tiresome, very frustrating. And what I can tell you is this: when you build as a team, you're going to be held accountable, which is what I was running from. I was running from accountability. I didn't want my support team to be like, hey, Jaime, listen, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire and you're not doing what you said you were going to do for your children. Why? Because that will hurt my ego, because I'm a man and I'm like, man, you're not going to tell me what I'm doing for my children. But at the end of the day, we all need someone to say, hey, you said you were going to do this with me for 12 straight months. And here we are, month 4, and you're quitting on me. Nah, that's not going to happen, bro. And when you're able to submit to accountability, then you already gave your business a better shot of making it. But when you run away from accountability, when you're like, I'm just going to hide. This isn't corporate America when we can hide in a cubicle for 7, 8, 9 years. This is network marketing. And in network marketing, time will promote you or time will expose you. You know, and after 8 hours, these hunters that you're going to see in the video, and I wish I would have shown you that video. I wish it would have worked, but it didn't. They run for 8 straight hours on foot under the sun to be able to bring home the bacon or the food in this case. And sometimes we're not even willing to work an hour steady during our day for our business. No one's asking us to go out there in the desert sun to go capture our dinner for our family. This isn't that hard, guys. This is about being consistent. And when you're able to actually push through, and when you see the gratitude of these hunters, when they finally see, without having to shoot the animal, without having to hurt the animal literally collapses and surrenders. Why? Because it knows destiny is running in front of you. But at some point, if you keep running after destiny, destiny will stop, look at you dead in the eye, and say, hey, what is it that you want? Because I see that you're not going to quit. However, we have to outlast that run. We have to be in shape to run the distance. We have to be willing to go the distance on days that we want to and days that we don't want to. I'm pretty sure that this hunter here, there's days where he doesn't want to run for 8 hours to catch his meat or his meal for the evening for his family. I'm sure there's days to where it's like, man, I'm tired of running. I'm tired of chasing these animals. I'm tired of doing all of this work, and I still have to carry this heavy animal back home and cook it. But this hunter, and you're a hunter, and I'm a hunter, we have to be willing to get up every day on days that we want to and days that we don't want to do what needs to be done for us to be able to give our families and ourselves what we told them we were going to give. The problem with me was that I had a loud mouth and made a lot of loud promises, big promises. And now I look at the dream boards and I'm like, I can't quit now. She already has the mansion on the vision board. I can't quit now. I see the picture of the Maldives on the dream board. I can't quit now. I see the BMW M8 on the dream board. There's no way I can quit because I planted those seeds in my wife's mind. Hey, dream big. And now that she did, I can't punk out. Now I gotta go back it up with my work every single day. And I do it in gratitude. And I do it in gratitude because I'm so grateful that I'm healthy this morning, that I can speak this morning, that I have, that God provided for Wi-Fi and internet, and I'm able to communicate and build my business from home, and I'm not stuck in California traffic every single day like millions of people every single day. And when the hunter finally captures his prey, the hunter honors the animal and it gives thanks. In business, we have to celebrate our wins. We have to honor our team. We have to appreciate the customers. Gratitude keeps you powerful. Ego makes you sloppy. So in finishing this training today, I want you to write this down somewhere where you can see it every day. I will outlast. I will stay consistent. I will finish the hunt. This is what we come to do. We don't live where these people, the sand people, live. You and I don't have to go out there and do all this hard work like they have to do, but we do have to work. Because the good book says those who don't work should not eat. That's what the good book says. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for your time. I don't even know what time it is again, but I want to thank you. I want to celebrate you, and I want to tell you that, hey, go ahead and go watch this video. It's called the Persistent Hunting. Is going to change your mind, and it's going to change your life, and it may even change your business. You guys have an amazing day. God bless you guys. Take care, and we'll see you on the next AM Power. Goodbye, guys.
Thank you, Jaime. That's absolutely incredible.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a blessed day.
I think that, hold on, I want to let everybody unmute. There we go.
Gracias, Jaime.
Wow, thanks.
Thank
That
you.
was
Wow.
wow, that was
So
wonderful.
unusual, Jaime. That was awesome.
Jamie,
Thank
that was
you.
phenomenal, bro. That was
Thank
phenomenal,
you.
man.
Thank
Phenomenal.
you. Thank you.
Great job.
Great call, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for the call.
I mean, you was on point.
We got the message.